Okay guys, hi. So welcome back, and there's been a request for a few people to have me record what I'm working on or how I worked on the mobile suits. So what I've decided to do is to start recording my work in progress, right? And I'll upload this into short videos. So for example, when I'm working on the head, you actually see me cutting out from the sprues, doing the sanding and then everything right through to painting it and applying decals and then top coat it and then finish it off. So in that one little segment of just to complete the head, right, you might get like 4 or 5 videos, because I'm not gonna like upload a 2-hour long video just to see me working on the head. So it might be broken down into like me explaining my thought process of the building, what goes through my head when I'm building it. Okay, so sorry if you can see the tripod legs here, but I haven't figured out a good way to mount the camera yet. So I don't like strapping things on my head as well while I'm working. So let's hopefully this works out through this video. Okay, so the build that I'm working on right now, as most of you will know, is the Geara Doga with the conversion kit. So this is the first experience with this brand, industrial gear. And as you can see, right, I've already removed the parts from the head, from the spruce, as well as these are the conversion racing kits parts, those in beige colors. So there are like four or five, four of them, and then the rest are just your normal parts from your MG kit. Okay, so normally what goes through my normally I start off with the head unit for every suit that I work on. The reason being is because with the head unit, right, I will apply the colors that will be used for the whole kit. So from the head itself, you can actually see whether it works or not. I mean the color combination and all that. So if it doesn't work, then yeah, it's easier for you to just change out your color scheme by removing it from the head, rather than you start off the body, which is a larger piece, and you end up having to remove all that. Okay, so for now, for the conversion kit, right, what happens is they will actually, although it's not that clear, but they actually state which part needs to be replaced. So for example, if you can see right here, it states that the head will be using parts 8, 9 and 10. 8, 9 and 10, which are these three parts, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, there's actually another part which is part number 13, which is this sort of like the neck shoulder brace area as well. Okay, and you don't find that in the instructions. This happens with resin kits. Sometimes you have a part appearing and you don't know where it fits, but roughly, if you have experience, you would know exactly which parts to replace. Okay, and what else do I look for? So once I have that, right, I'll just dump it. I dump everything into this little bin before I do the sanding. Okay, and that's it, I think. The problem with this kit that I find is that these are the power lines for the sort of like the, if you can see here, right, the cheek areas as well as the shoulder areas. They are like flexible rubbery type of stuff, so I don't quite like that, and it doesn't look good. So I'll be replacing it with actual metal parts, right? So I'm getting more of this to fit the size. Hopefully, yeah, it's about 2.5 mm, I think. This is 3 mm, so it's a bit thick, but you can always give it a go and see. The only problem you might have is fitting the ends into that particular area of your cheeks. Okay, so next what I do is I'll just sand everything that is required to be sanded. Okay, so I do wet sanding. The nut marks actually, and I wipe it off with a wet piece of cloth so it's actually clean and you don't get any dust flying around everywhere. Okay. I use a 400 grit for faster removal of the nubs. They are already quite clean. I already have what I did was I bought a new cutter and they are pretty cool. Cost like 65 ringgit over here, so in USD is like 14, 15, about 15 USD dollars. Okay, see, it's very neat. The cut is very clean, so just very minor sort of like sanding required. Okay. Yeah. Always try to get a good pair of nippers, because if not you'll spend hours on ends just to clean up your nut marks. Okay. Before I got those nippers, right, I was spending like almost one full day just to remove all the nut marks of a kit. So right now, nowadays, I've really shortened the time frame down considerably. I tend to sand every single nut mark, even though the parts might be hidden when disassembled, because OCD. So and I don't like to see nut marks. Okay, this is the antenna for the head unit. I might do a little bit of scribing because it's quite plain looking. So I might just do a cut here, okay, and a cut here. 2 lines just to separate out the top part. Then I can actually have a 2 color separation. Okay, you see how it goes. Okay, I'm sanding this even though I might be replacing it with metal parts. These are like jets, thrusters. So I might be replacing them with, if I have the size, then I might replace them. Else I'll just need to order some. Yeah, I think I'll replace them. Okay. Okay, so now we are sanding the resin part. What I'll do is I'll put my mask on. You see all the accumulation of the plastic that you have actually sanded? Yeah, so wet sand is always the way to go. You have to be careful with resin parts because if you go too hard and too fast, right, you will actually cut right through the resin. So you have to be really careful. But once it's removed, right, it's very nice. It's very even. It looks better than the plastic parts. Yeah. See, resin parts, right? Look at all the sort of like the scribing lines. Is very nice and even. It's like as if the parts was casted out from a mold, or yeah, I mean it was, but it's already like, if you were to do it, right, I were to do it, I can't get that evenness. So this is one of the reasons why I love racing parts so much. There are some flashings here that I need to remove. Okay. So this is quite simple. It's very soft and it's very thin. So what you do is you go using your hobby knife, right? You cut right through it. Okay. And just remove it. Okay, like so. Yeah. Similarly for the other side. And just clean up a bit with your hobby knife. Okay. And I've already removed the resin flashing from this area, so I'm just sanding it down. Again, there are some flashings here that can be removed easily.
So all these fine details, right, you just touch up with little spots of different colored paints and you are gonna get so much more details coming out from there.
Okay, that's it. That's the sanding and tidying up bit done. So tomorrow, it's already like almost close to 10 tonight. So tomorrow what will happen is I'll start spraying them. So the resin parts I will wash with an ultrasonic cleaner, and then the plastic parts I can actually start to color them as well. Okay, I haven't quite decided yet between the shades of green. I have a few in mind that I'm planning to use, so it's a toss-up between these two for the lighter shade. For darker shade, I'm most probably going to go with this one. Yeah, because I want it to be more contrasty. Okay. Or I might go with something even darker. Yeah. There are a lot of choices, so I might go with this one actually. Okay. So I'll leave this for tomorrow, and then we'll see where we go from there. I don't quite like the dark green here because it's like almost, what will happen is the parts details will be lost. If it is too dark, you can't see it. So I'd rather have something like in between these two. Yeah. Okay, so until then, we'll see you in the next video, and we'll continue with the head unit. Thanks, bye.